Time for kickers, punters.
Bud Grant was a rarity in coaching circles. He believed in few words and short practices.
9:30 bus. That's it.
I've got a wife and 6 kids.
Huh? Sit up here with Dad.
I got a family to feed. The way to make a living is basically what it was.
Grant was able to detach himself from football, but not from his players, one in particular.
A lot of people ask, who is your best football player? Well, as a coach, you can't go there. So how do I describe Jim Marshall? He's a special football player, a special man. And if it wasn't for Jim Marshall, I wouldn't be here today. I love Jim Marshall.
Marshall, number 70, personified the Bud Grant standard. He always played smart. He always played hard. But most impressively, he always played.
He had that great capacity of bouncing back from serious bruises and contusions and play. Not only play is easy, but play at the level that he sets for himself, I think was the most amazing part of it.
You know, there were times when I was legitimately sick in the hospital, and but I don't know what it was when they got to be game time. There was just something there.
It don't break my neck.
Jim, I think you're ready.
I'm not dead.
When God was making defensive ends, they made Jim Marshall. And then everything else followed, okay?
When you change coaches, you got different personalities and different, not necessarily rule, but mode of operation. And the thing that Jim Marshall, he bought it. He bought what I was saying, and I could see it in his eyes. And so right away, everything went through Jim Marshall.
Ready? See, I got you again. If Meredith finds out that he can get us, then he's going to run us to death on that quick count, and we can't afford to have that.
If there was a player that would rah-rah and go jump and show disrespect to the other team, Jim Marshall would have had him by the collar.
Come on, Lonnie. Hey, don't start. Look, man, play on the field. Come on, let's have a nice clean one, okay? Come on, we don't want to have a fighting and stuff, man.
Looking.
Ironically, the Viking that tried to get everyone to do right made one of the biggest mistakes in NFL history.
For the first down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way, and he's running it into the end zone the wrong way, thinks he scored a touchdown. He has scored a safety. His teammates were running along the far side of the field, Russ, trying to tell him to go back. Go back. He paid no attention.
I played well the rest of the game. I caused a fumble that we scored the winning touchdown on. So you can actually say I traded 2 points for 7 points. But people, you know, constantly talk about the wrong way run. You know, I always tell them, you know what, think about the worst mistake that you've ever made, and think about 100, 200 million people seeing you make that mistake and teasing you about it every day of your life. How would you feel about it?
From New York, here is I've Got a Secret.
Now, if you'll whisper your secret to me, we'll show it at the same time to the folks at home.
Was this in the papers, this thing?
Yes.
And was it listed under disaster?
Possibly.
Off the field, Marshall sought individual glory. As a Viking, he was part of a foursome. Number 81, Carl Eller. Number 77, Gary Larson, and number 88, Alan Page, joined Marshall on the defensive front. The foursome became known as the Purple People Eaters, after the popular song by Sheb Wooley.
One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater was an ugly-looking half bird, half dinosaur looking thing, and if you could think of 100 other names we'd be happier with than the Purple People Eaters.
In 1969, all 4 members of the Purple People Eaters made the Pro Bowl. 2, Eller and Page, would make the Hall of Fame. Page manned the middle.
He was a little different than the rest of the guys. He didn't drink. He was very intent on getting his law degree. During football season, he would do a lot of studying. However, he was a very, very dedicated teammate and probably one of the best defensive linemen that I've ever seen.
If Page was the brain and Marshall was the heart, number 81, Carl Eller, nicknamed Moose, provided the attitude.
Get it in here, girl. Look here, I ain't lying, baby. Let's win this today. Let's win this today. Let's go.
In week 3, the Purple People Eaters and the rest of the defense came within 5 seconds of the franchise's first shutout. The next week, they blanked the Bears. Lopsided wins became the norm. After their 9th straight win, a championship season looked inevitable. And the Viking players began to see themselves as invincible.
They scored a touchdown. We started laughing. Why are you laughing at us? We just scored a touchdown. Yeah, but you're not going to win the game. We are.